start.
High country adventure in the Sierra Madres. Now, Sierra Madres were made famous by John Wayne's younger brother, Jim Bob Wayne. Jim Bob Wayne decided he was going to climb over the He was going to climb up the Sierra Madres to the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. And that was what I was telling you yesterday, is the blood of Christ. Now, Jim Bob, he wasn't a very bright man. So he went up there, he didn't take enough provisions, and he didn't map out the trip, and he had no guide. He was just like a youth group from FBC Colleyville, just a bunch of mindless automatons. He went up that hill with that mule, packed full of stuff. He got up there, it was awfully high, because you get high up in the Sierra Madres. Anyway, he got up there and he found out that the mule was overpacked. He had to unpack most of his supplies and provisions. It was just him and the mule and a couple of gallons of water, a pound of oats, a little bit of beans. That's all he had. He got up to the top of the mountain. The altitude got so bad he had to make a choice. He had to jettison a little bit more weight. And then the mule, he just pushed the mule. He had a time deadline. He was trying to set a record. He got up there to the top of the divide where the altitude was the highest, the wear was the thinnest, and the mule collapsed. Now I'm telling you, he had a choice to make. He only had enough strength to pack enough food down, not even for himself. His life was hanging in the balance with that mule's health.
And who is this again?
This is Jim Bob Wayne, John Wayne's brother.
Okay, carry on.
I didn't say I'm going across the Sierra Madres. I'm gonna see the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. He talked just like John Wayne. Anyway, he got up there, the mule nearly stopped breathing. What do you have to do? What do you do when somebody stops breathing?
I don't know.
You drop to your knees and give him mule CPR. He had that mule's mouth open. He was pushing some air down in them mule's lungs. And then the thought occurred to him. He hadn't had his vaccination. But he had no choice. He had to run the risk of getting one of man's worst plagues, a plague that's bothered mankind since the beginning of time. Mule AIDS. He had to worry about that, but he decided that it was worth it. He was going to die one way or the other, more likely a slow, painful death with the mule AIDS than just starvation, deprivation, dehydration. Would have been terrible. Yeah, about 20 minutes, that mule perked up. That mule kicked up his hind end first, then he got up on his feet, he wobbled, he staggered, he took a step, took another step, took a little bite or two of oats, had a little water. Jim Bob was on his way. Mule AIDS or not, he was going to be across the divide of the Sierra Madres. Now let me tell you, on the backside, Jim Bob didn't think that experience was going to be very good, but he died! Jim Bob died! But it wasn't a mule AIDS, the mule kicked him.
The end, that was good.
Listen.
Oh look, I still have some.
You don't get an adventure in like 2 minutes. This is not a Seinfeld, do you? Seinfeld has always one line. Always at somebody's expense.
Yeah.
Watching that shows like Friends. I could have told you that.
I can't hear you, I can just see it.
Who's having whose baby? Oh, it's going to be all right. Let's just go down to the coffee house and talk. Bob Redford, she recognized the voice. She turned and looked. He raised his goggles, and sure enough, it was Robert Redford. She passed clean out underneath the bar, slid down, broke a leg, had to go to the hospital. She thought it was going to ruin her whole trip. Who came to see her in the hospital? Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Wow, James,
you know that great shock of red hair,
amazing.
Robert Redford?
It's a great story, Charlie.
That's true story. True story.
What's the name of that mountain over there? That one right there.
My goodness! It looks like on the horizon it might be Sierra Madre Mountain Range.
No way, you sure?
We're gonna have to go over there. A couple of mules, a little bit of food. We'll be up on top of that mountain by nightfall. We'll be camping above the tree line tonight. You watch it happen. We'll take Eric with us. He'll make all the arrangements. He does it perfect every time. You watch. He's got connections with Billy Joe Bob Wayne. Is this one of our guys? This is gonna be an epic adventure. It's gonna be like a religious pilgrimage. Perfect. I'm gonna change the name of it.
Is that right?
Huh. These adults and these youth travel over 1,000 miles to get here just to see what the end result is. I mean, is this just a way station on the wide road to destruction? On the way to southern Colorado? To purgatory? Or what is it? Or is it a final destination? Did these people brave the heat and sweaty jungle-like atmosphere of that bus? with that wretched little hovel in the corner that emitted such awful smells, for this to come to the cool, refreshing atmosphere, the clean air, the blue skies, the sunshine, the snow, the fun, all of it will fool you, won't it? I'll have more later. Where's the enthusiasm in this crowd? We're gonna have to get a little bit of something going here.
I'm enthusiastic.
Oh yeah?
Slow down just a bit, Charlie. Let's get even with you. All right. High adventure, go. Hey Charlie, tell us about the high adventure.
A high adventure into the Sierra Madre! But we're in the San Juan National Forest, so it's gonna be a tough down version. I'm sorry. There is gonna be like the Rio de Cristo mountain range. Woo, blood of Christ.
Woo, blood of Christ, yeah.
Alright, matey.